If you enjoy movies, comic books, and pop culture, be sure to like and subscribe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC Podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric!
Yes, sir.
You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast. You can follow the shop at REC Comics, or you can come check us out at 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And you can find Eric creeping around in the back issues, giving himself back issues. And on the ones and twos, we have the big tuna, Jordan Tunney.
Woo! You got the back issues from carrying the show, man.
Well, so somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it, all right?
I feel like we've done this before, guys.
Wait, did you guys see that black cat?
Little inside.
Kids, we had a crazy announcement today. Such a crazy announcement that we're going to be breaking this thing into 2 episodes. We got to break it down because James Gunn has announced the phase 1 of the DC Universe, films and
Gods
TV.
and Monsters?
Gods and Monsters is what he's referring to it as, this chapter. In this first episode, we're going to focus on the television series. Our man, the Judge Gunn, actually that's his brother, but what do we call him? Jimmy Gunn. Our man, Jimmy Gunn.
Jimmy Gunn.
He has stated that he wants to have the films, TV shows, and even animated projects all being like thread together.
Sure.
So much so that he really wants even that the live action people will voice their characters in animated stuff. There's even an option that we get people introduced animated and then we'll see them live action later being played by those same people.
That's awesome.
I would
Yeah,
absolutely love that.
That's great.
It's a really, really fun idea. It is something that is being done differently than Marvel is to a point. I know in the What If series we did have Haley Atwell return, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, some of these guys, but like no RDJ, no Chris Evans, but there were still some links to those projects. Sounds like Gunn really wants to flesh out a universe, take the time. He says stories are going to be key.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, it makes really good sense. And we've got some television shows that we need to discuss. Probably the one that is the most interesting starting off the bat, Booster Gold.
Yes.
Eric, enlighten us on the Booster.
Well, yeah, he's a comic book character from the future. Janitor, if you will, at a superhero museum. In the future.
Yes.
So he uses...
The world of tomorrow!
He comes back, uses time travel technology to come back, brings future tech with him, and just uses it to fight crime, and basically becomes a celebrity.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said this before, but he is like the TikTok superhero. He would, again, if they don't implement that into this series, they're missing something.
Yeah, he would totally be the type of guy that is going to, he'll understand the trends.
Yes.
He'll be talking about things that are
betting
currently
on
going
sports
on.
games.
Yeah, in the comics, they'd often have him be like literally living NASCAR. You could buy ad space on him, and he would go and save people, and then take pictures in the newspaper and online, and your logo or whatever would be on there. Think old school UFC meets Jeff Gordon.
So he's got like a
Condom Depot.
Jimmy John's thing.
Jimmy John, yeah. They would always have Condom Depot on there.
Do they
the
really?
bottoms?
That's somebody for real?
Yeah. It was a lot back in the day, along with Mickey's,
Mickey's.
But yes,
Ooh.
it's an interesting character. It's a way to kind of buck and make fun of the trend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of
right
modernity.
for satire.
Waller, which is going to focus on Viola Davis.
Yes.
As
a titular Amanda Waller.
Yes. I got the impression that this was going to be animated. The Big Tuna tells me otherwise. He couldn't find anything that really stated that, so I may have made it up in my rage-fueled mind. But the character's so well established. She was arguably one of the best parts of both of those Suicide Squad films.
Yeah, for sure.
Very consistent. I like her personality more in the first one until the end. And I like the kind of like freak out moments in the Suicide Squad.
You know, if they couldn't have got Viola Davis, you know who'd have been a great Waller?
CCH
Pounder, yes!
She was the voice for her in Justice League.
Was she really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wasn't even trying to be funny.
Pounder.
I think she would have been great. Yeah.
Cool. Our girl, Demon Knight, homie.
Supper time.
I would have preferred Fran Drescher.
Yeah, I think that'd have been great too.
It's just me.
I don't think a hero can be confined by color.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Fran Drescher, why not?
No, I just the voice. She's perfect. She exudes. Oh God, I'd be so upset. One of the, I guess you would say, more Stranger Things that we know is going to be an animated feature is going to be Creature Commandos. Big Tuna, break it down on what the Creature Commandos are, what they do, and who they be.
Who they be. Here we go. Who they be. Creature Commandos was a storyline launched in 1980. It featured kind of a Monster Squad-esque collaboration. Frankenstein's monster, a werewolf, a vampire, a gorgon, fighting Nazis in World War II. So definitely going to be a callback. It's going to take place in the past in some capacity. We know this because Weasel, a character that's featured in The Suicide Squad, played by James Gunn's brother, who was in The Suicide Squad and meets an untimely fate. Although that's kind of comes back at the end.
Yeah.
But we're going to see some flashbacks. We don't know exactly if it's going to be taking place during World War II. However, one character that was also confirmed appearing beyond just Weasel is Rick Flag Sr. You may know his son, Rick Flag Jr., played by Joel Kinnaman in both Suicide Squad, David Ayer, and The Suicide Squad, James Gunn. So I would not be surprised if we end up seeing Joel Kinnaman reprising the role, but as the father would be a great way to do it, considering his character dies off in The Suicide Squad. It'd be a cool way to bring him back into the franchise, but not obviously playing the character that died.
Yes.
And to Gunn's earlier words, that we'll most likely see some live iteration of these characters at one point. But we know that this is going to first start out to be... Oh man, are they going to make Frankenstein Batista?
I mean, that actually makes too much sense. Right there. I bet they're going to have some hack line in there when they're fighting Nazis. Like, you know, they're going to grab a Nazi like, who's the real monster here?
Oh God.
9.
Me. I love it. He took an obscure property from Marvel, ran with it. We love it.
Marvel.
I am, I want to save that for last. Paradise Lost, which I also got the feeling could be animated, but that's just me and my spider sense, kids.
Why did they bring in a old school Milton book into this?
I don't get the reference.
Fair enough.
Well, Paradise Island Lost is a comic series authored by Phil Jimenez and George Perez. Which features
the late great George Perez.
The late great George Perez. The dearly departed. And it centers around the Amazons, Wonder Woman's people. But Roman, tell us a little bit about kind of the scope and scale of what the show may entail.
Well, James Gunn did make reference that he intends for this to be somewhat Game of Thronesian.
Lots of incest.
Lots of Westeros. Insta-Westeros.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Consistently Westeros.
Yes, he thinks that he's kind of framing it in this way that they wanted to kind of build on family houses, although there's not much, but there's definitely, sex. There's the warriors. There is the the people that are just they're all a warrior class, but not everybody can be out in the field.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
other stuff's got to be done.
Yeah.
There's oracles. There's other branches to this, and it would be very interesting to not even see Diana at all until the end of a season one, in which maybe how do you say it? Hippolyta. Yeah, Hippolyta. Diana's mother is like creating her daughter in clay at the end of season one.
Right.
But this is supposed to be them kind of like. They're either leaving the world of man or they're about to leave the world of man.
Like what leads them to leave the world of man? This could be
it's interpreted different ways. I can't wait to see how this one is going.
Oh, for sure.
The project that I'm most excited for, Eric, because what have I been wanting this whole time when it comes to Green Lantern stuff? either a buddy comedy, buddy comedy, buddy comedy, and or something just like a really good like cop drama.
Right.
James Gunn is describing this as True Detective
In space.
in space. Space cops. Precinct Earth is another term that he used.
Cops.
Police cops, bad cops, and it's going to follow Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, which I cannot tell you how happy I am about that. Initially, the Greg Berlanti led Green Lantern Corps or Green Lantern whatever was going to just follow Jon Stewart. I was very much against that. I want Eben Sur, I want Hal Jordan, because those things, they happen, and when they happen, it affects how John gets a ring and why he wouldn't get one at that time. And there's other reasons for so many different Earth Lanterns to be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the Green Lantern comic book, there's so much fallout that happens in those books that has a lot of things going on with the rest of the DC comic books. So I think it's a perfect place to start. But I believe we were talking and Jordan said this could be where we get our big bad introduced.
It would be very interesting. I'd always championed for like the War of Light, the different rings be the gems, or the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, like the different
DC.
colored lanterns.
But you could start out with something like a parallax.
Sure.
Like the fear itself.
Right. I think they need to establish. Do you think they're going to just go full on establish the rest of the Roy G. Biv color lanterns?
No, I hope they take their time.
Okay.
I hope they take their time because it's a great reveal to us as readers.
Sure.
It would be an excellent reveal to the masses.
In the comic books initially it was just green and yellow, right? And then we get the darkest night,
Blackest Night. We had the Star Sapphires, which we didn't know were a member of the Spectrum at the time.
Right.
But to your point,
so they're on the spectrum.
Yeah, they're all on the Spectrum.
Okay, fair enough.
All on the Roy G. Biv Spectrum. And it's an excellent way to start it, but
because like you were saying, there's always a cool reason why there's more than rings always come to Earth for some reason. The will of man
is very strong.
/ the evil of man.
The will and the evil of man,
and it's like Earth's hellmouth basically. You gotta have heroes, baby.
Yeah, we need them in all shapes and sizes and colors. The True Detective aspect of this gets me excited. Jordan, do you have any insights on the mystery aspect of it?
Yeah, Peter Safran made a comment that regarding the mystery, quote, plays a big role leading us into the main story that we're telling across our film and television. That could be taken more directly or literally to suggest that the mystery that they uncover is going to be expanded, possibly as a big bad. It would be quite interesting to see if maybe the crime that they're investigating suggests lanterns were involved. And throughout the process, we discover the existence of the Yellow Lantern, who very much the Yellow Lanterns could pose a threat that the combined DCU, especially this first chapter, could have to kind of organize together in a sense.
Right.
Or there could be ripple effects. Fear affects everybody. I also think, too, one of the other interesting points regarding the Lantern universe that they're building is that they're obviously being selective about who they're choosing to be those protagonists, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some of those other Green Lanterns, but again, how do you make a grounded mystery take place in the galactic universe?
It's going to be a Riggs and Murtaugh thing, all right?
Which I'm great. Saxophone for Jon Stewart's character.
Yeah.
I think that I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
This is probably the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
TV-wise.
I do have to say, though, picturing the Green Lanterns as cops, all I can think of are the vegan police from Scott Pilgrim versus the World when they bust in and they
even have
their
green,
fingers.
yeah.
They have a green light. No vegan diet, no vegan powers.
Yeah.
I genuinely could see something like that happening. What are your Miranda rights in space?
Yeah, what are they?
Gelato isn't vegan?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, chicken parm isn't vegan.
I think Kyle Rayner would be one of those vegan police.
Oh, yeah. But, man, I love Kyle. He's not my favorite. I am a Hal guy. What are you?
It's got to be. Yeah, I'm Guy.
Yeah,
he's slept on.
Yeah.
He's very slept on, but he's cool.
But
honestly, it'd be like Guy, then Hal. Oh no, Guy, John, then Hal, then Kyle.
Yeah, man, you do not like Kyle.
I don't like Kyle.
Man, he's the torchbearer, man.
Yeah.
When the spark was dying, Kyle vomited in an alley outside of a bar.
You
and
think I'd have a lot in common with this
you'll
Kyle
have to
character.
do. That's why you don't
you'll
like
have to.
him.
Yeah, I'm like Kyle.
Yeah, you'll have to do.
How do you think I got this job?
The face. Don't undermine my homeboy's good looks. It's an interesting slate. I'm a little surprised at Booster and the Creature Commandos, but everything else I'm very into.
Booster sounds perfect.
Booster sounds like
I think that's
gonna
it's gonna be huge, man.
It's for lack of a better comparison, I think it'll be the She-Hulk of the group in terms of like what it's going to try to be.
It's going to kind of be meta. It's going to do that meta stuff.
Yes. Like it'll try to play on like what's hot.
Just less stupid.
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, it'll be a man, leading
Whoa,
it. So.
whoa.
One of the things that gets me a little worried is the fact that it seems like James Gunn is writing a lot of this. Mm-hmm. In our next episode, we'll be talking more about the film projects, but he's already said he's done, I think, with Creature Commandos, that they've already written it. He said he really wants to focus on stories, finding people to tell these stories and allowing them the room to do so. Mm-hmm. He's kind of taken this Feige approach to the next level because Feige's not in the lab. Feige's not Feige's more of the Elon Musk of it. Like, we're going to steer it.
I think Feige's more like Suge Knight.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I like that.
Dangling Booster Gold over
my royalties. And then I would say James Gunn's more like Dr. Dre. Mm-hmm. He finds talent and he can direct.
Yeah.
And produce instead of muscle people.
Well, kids, stick around for our next episode where we will be discussing the film projects that were announced. Those are the things that we are, I think, most excited for.
Yes.
If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a like, hit that little bell so that you know when we have new things coming out. The Big Tuna has been doing some shorts online. Check out the shorts, please. Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Are we rolling?
Big Tuna, anything you want to add to the pot?
Yes, Creature Commandos and Waller are both expected to be the first of the DCU products that we're going to see. They are anticipating that they'll be released before the first DCU film, which will be hitting in 2025. So I do think that they are very much wanting to take this TV universe and integrate it. Kind of reverse engineering what Marvel has done, establishing 20-some movies before doing their first series. So I definitely think that some of it does seem somewhat riskier. I will say that the description of Booster Gold being kind of a sponsored superhero really reminds me of Captain Amazing, Grey Kinnear from Mystery Men.
Oh my God,
that's
funny,
also
dude.
corporate sponsor. So there's
that's a good point.
Shout out to friend of the show, Dave, who, God, he loves Mystery Men for some reason.
Good movie, man.
It's fine. It's fine. Kids, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
I'm still Eric Icarus.
And for the Big Tuna, we will catch you on the next podcast.